Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cooking School with me, Chef Alex Cardinale. I know it's been a while since I've hosted an episode of Cooking School with Chef Alex, but I'm excited to be back here in the studios hosting Cooking School with Chef Alex. And I look forward to educating you about cooking and baking. So the last couple of episodes, I've talked about beef and pork. Now, beef and pork are very popular meats. But today we are going to be talking about poultry. Now, poultry is a very popular meat. Poultry consists of different types of birds, but the most common birds consumed in the United States of America are chicken and turkey. Occasionally, Americans will eat duck, but I personally have never tried duck. The only poultry that I eat is chicken and turkey. And I have grown to love turkey very much, and I also very much love chicken. Now, back in the old days, chicken was a popular dish because chicken was very affordable back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Even today, chicken is still a very affordable dish to make. And chicken and turkey are very versatile. You can make a lot of dishes with chicken and turkey. For example, some Italian dishes that are famous with chicken include chicken parmesan, chicken cacciatore, chicken Francaise, chicken Milanese, chicken Marsala, etc. And now there are many ways to utilize turkey. Turkey is not just about Thanksgiving anymore. We've got turkey tips. We've got turkey noodle soup. We've got turkey parmesan. We utilize turkey cutlets, which is really, really good. So today, I, Chef Alex Cardinale, am going to educate you on everything you need to know about poultry, including proper storage, proper handling of poultry, proper cooking of poultry, and then I'm going to give you some amazing recipes. I've got a delicious Chicken Cordon Bleu recipe, a delicious Chicken Marsala recipe, a Chicken Francaise recipe, a roasted turkey recipe, and for the first time ever on Cooking School with Chef Alex, I am going to show you how to make a delicious chicken parmesan. So later on today's show, I will show you how I make my delicious chicken parmesan. So, to anyone watching this video, if you have questions on poultry, or if you have questions on cooking poultry, post them in the comments and I will answer them. So, if you have any questions on today's topic, post them in the comments and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Having said that, let's get this show started. And we're going to start with some information to know about poultry. Now, in the United States of America, there are three types of poultry that are the most common: chicken, turkey, and duck. The most common poultry consumed in America is chicken. Chicken, chicken, chicken. That is the most common poultry in America. What's for dinner tonight? There's a good chance it's chicken. Now the number one poultry species consumed by Americans. To begin, let's define the types of chickens that you may find at your local grocery store. Broiler, fryer, a young tender chicken, less than 2 weeks of age, weighs 2.5 to 4.5 pounds when eviscerated. Cook by any method. Rock Cornish game hen, a small broiler fryer, weighs between 1 and 2 pounds, usually stuffed and roasted whole. Roaster, a young chicken between 8 and 12 weeks of age with a ready-to-cook carcass weight of 5 pounds or more. It yields more meat per pound than a broiler fryer, usually roasted whole. Capoon, male chickens, less than 4 months of age, surgically unsexed. They weigh about 4 to 7 pounds and have generous quantities of tender, light meat, usually roasted. Stewing baking hen, a mature laying hen, 10 months to a year and a half old. Since the meat is less tender than young chickens, it's best when used in moist cooking, such as stewing. Cock or rooster, a mature male chicken with coarse skin and tough, dark meat. Requires long, moist cooking. And that is the cock or rooster chicken. All chickens found in retail stores are either inspected by USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service or by state programs which have standards equivalent to the federal government. Each chicken and its internal organs are inspected for signs of disease. The inspected for wholesomeness by the U.S. Department of Agriculture seal indicates that the product was produced in compliance with federal regulations, including those that prohibit carcasses and parts of carcasses with evidence of disease. Chicken and poultry grading. Food safety inspection is mandatory, but quality grading is voluntary. Chicken and poultry are graded according to the USDA Agricultural Marketing Services quality regulations and standards. Grade A chicken have plump, meaty bodies and clean skin. They're also free of bruises, broken bones, feathers, cuts, and discoloration. Fresh or frozen. The term fresh on a poultry label refers to any raw poultry product that has never been held below 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Raw poultry held at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below must be labeled frozen or previously frozen. No specific labeling is required on raw poultry stored at temperatures between 0 and 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Dating of chicken and poultry products. USDA requires a pack date or code date for poultry products and thermally processed, commercially sterile products, commonly referred to as canned products, where the containers can be flexible, such as pouches, or semi-rigid, as in lunch boxes, to help identify product lots and evacuate traceback activities in the event of an outbreak of foodborne illness. For other poultry products under the jurisdiction of FSIS, dates may be voluntarily applied, provided they are labeled in a manner that is truthful and not misleading and in compliance with FSIS regulations. A calendar date must express both the month and date of the month. In the case of shelf-stable and frozen products, the year must also be displayed. Additionally, immediately adjacent to the date must be a phrase explaining the meaning of the date, such as best if used by. The used by date is for quality insurance. After the date, peak quality begins to lessen, but the product may still be used. It's always best to buy a product before the date expires. If a use by date expires while the chicken is frozen, the food can still be used because foods kept frozen continuously are safe indefinitely. The quality of the poultry may diminish the longer it is frozen. So always keep that in mind, folks. Hormones and antibiotics. No hormones are used in the raisings of chickens. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has not approved the use of steroid hormone implants for growth purposes in poultry. Antibiotics may be used to prevent disease and increase feed efficiency. Before the bird can be slaughtered, a withdrawal period is required from the time antibiotics are administered. FSIS randomly samples poultry at slaughter and tests for residues to make sure levels are not above the tolerance level at the time of slaughter. Data from this monitoring program have shown a very low percentage of residue violations. Additives. Additives are not allowed on fresh chicken or poultry. However, if chicken or turkey is processed, like deli meats, additives such as MSG, salt, or sodium may be added but must be listed on the label. As with any perishable meat, fish, or poultry, bacteria can be found on raw or undercooked chicken or poultry. Bacteria multiplies rapidly at temperatures between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, out of refrigeration and before through cooking occurs. Freezing does not kill bacteria. They are destroyed by thorough cooking. FSIS has a zero tolerance for certain pathogens, including Salmonella and Listeria, which are found in poultry. In cooked and ready-to-eat products, such as chicken franks or lunch meat, which can be eaten without further cooking. Most foodborne illness outbreaks are a result of contamination from food handlers. Sanitary food handling and proper cooking and refrigeration should prevent foodborne illness. Bacteria must be ingested to cause foodborne illness. However, raw poultry must be handled carefully to prevent cross-contamination. This can occur if raw poultry or its juices come in contact with cooked food or foods that will be eaten raw, such as salad. An example of this is using a cutting board to chop raw chicken and then using the same board to chop tomatoes without washing the board first. Washing raw poultry before cooking is not recommended because bacteria in raw meat and poultry juices can be spread to other food, utensils, and surfaces. This is called cross-contamination. The results of a recent USDA observational study showed how easy bacteria can be spread when surfaces are not effectively cleaned and sanitized after washing poultry. Rinsing or soaking chicken does not destroy bacteria. Only cooking will destroy any bacteria that might be present on fresh chicken or poultry. Now, let's talk about how to handle chicken and poultry safely. Fresh chicken and poultry. Fresh chicken and poultry is kept cold during distribution to retail stores to prevent the growth of bacteria and to increase its shelf life. Chicken should feel cold to the touch when purchased. Select fresh chicken just before checking out at the register. Put packages of chicken in disposable plastic bags, if available, to contain any leakage that could cross-contaminate cooked foods or produce in the grocery cart or shopping bags. Make the grocery store your last stop before going home. At home, immediately place the poultry and chicken in a refrigerator that maintains a temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Use it within 1 or 2 days or freeze it at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. If kept frozen continuously, it will be safe indefinitely. The quality of the poultry may diminish the longer it is frozen. Chicken or poultry may be frozen in its original packaging or repackaged. If you plan to freeze chicken longer than 2 months, overwrap the porous store plastic packages with airtight heavy-duty foil, plastic wrap, or freezer paper, or place the package inside a freezer bag. Use these materials or airtight freezer containers to freeze the chicken from open packages or repackage family packs of chicken into smaller amounts. Proper wrapping prevents freezer burn, which appears as grayish-brown leathery spots and is caused by air reaching the surface of food. Cut freezer burn portions away either before or after cooking the chicken. Heavily freezer burn products may have to be discarded because they may be too dry or tasteless. Ready prepared chicken. When purchasing fully cooked rotisserie or fast food chicken, be sure to eat or refrigerate it within 2 hours. If it's hot at the time of purchase and won't be used within 2 hours, cut it into several pieces and refrigerate in shallow covered containers. Eat within 3 to 4 days, either cold or reheated to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. It is safe to freeze ready prepared chicken. For the best quality, flavor, and texture, use it within 4 months. Safe thawing. I recommend 3 ways to properly thaw poultry: in the refrigerator, in cold water, and in the microwave. Never thaw poultry on the counter or in other locations. It is best to plan ahead for slow, safe thawing in the fridge. Boneless chicken breast, bone-in parts, and whole poultry may take 1 to 2 days or longer to thaw. Once the raw chicken thaws, it can be kept in the refrigerator an additional day or two before cooking. During this time, if chicken thawed in the refrigerator is not used, it can safely be refrozen without cooking it first. Chicken may be thawed in cold water in its airtight packaging or in a leak-proof bag. Submerge the bird or cut up parts in cold water, changing the water every 30 minutes to be sure it stays cold. A whole 3 to 4 pound broiler, fryer, or package of parts should thaw in 2 to 3 hours. A 1 pound package of boneless breast will thaw in an hour or less. Cook immediately after thawing. Chicken that was thawed in the microwave should be cooked immediately after thawing because some areas of the food may become warm and begin to cook during microwaving. Holding partially cooked food is not recommended because any bacteria present would not have been destroyed. Foods defrosted in the microwave or by the cold water method should be cooked before refreezing. Do not cook frozen chicken in a slow cooker or in the microwave. Thaw it before cooking. However, chicken can be cooked from the frozen state in the oven or on the stove. The cooking time may be about 50% longer. Be sure that the chicken is cooked to a safe minimum internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit as measured with a food thermometer. So, ladies and gentlemen, my culinary students, the proper internal cooking temperature of chicken and poultry is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Nothing less and nothing more. Now, obviously, you can't go above 165 if you feel that 165 is not to your liking. You can have dry chicken or dry turkey if you wish. If you may overcook it by accident, but 165 is the recommended cooking temperature for turkey and chicken and other poultry. So, like I said, the recommended cooking temperature is 165. Check the internal temperature in the innermost part of the of the thigh and wing and the thickest part of the breast. For reasons of personal preference, consumers may choose to cook poultry to higher temperatures. You can obviously cook it higher than 165 if you prefer. The USDA Meat and Poultry Hotline does not recommend buying a whole, uncooked chicken stuffed at the grocery store because of the highly perishable nature of a previously stuffed item. Consumers should not pre-stuff whole chicken to cook at a later time. Chicken can be stuffed immediately before cooking. And when they're talking about stuffing chicken and poultry, we're talking about things like stuffing, stuffing a side dish that you stuff chicken and turkey with. Some USDA inspected frozen stuffed whole poultry must be cooked from the frozen state to ensure a safely cooked product. Follow preparation directions on the label. To stuff a whole chicken at home, cook any raw meat, poultry, or shellfish ingredients for the stuffing to reduce the risk of foodborne illness from bacteria that may be found in raw ingredients. The wet ingredients for stuffing can be prepared ahead of time and refrigerated. However, do not mix wet and dry ingredients until just before spooning the stuffing mixture into the chicken or turkey cavity. Immediately cook the stuffed raw chicken in an oven set no lower than 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not microwave a stuffed chicken. Food cooks quickly in a microwave oven, and the stuffing might not have enough time to reach the safe minimum internal temperature needed to destroy harmful bacteria. Chicken may be marinated in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. Bring marinade to full boil before brushing it on cooked chicken. Discard any uncooked leftover marinade. Never brown or partially cooked chicken to refrigerate and finish cooking later, because any bacteria present would not have been destroyed. It is safe to partially pre-cook or microwave chicken immediately before transferring it to the hot grill to finish cooking. That's some basic information on poultry. Now, poultry can be sauteed. Some sauteed poultry dishes would include Marsala, Francaise, Milanese, Alfredo, etc. Poultry can be baked, poultry can be fried, poultry can be roasted. So poultry can be cooked just like any other meat out there. So right now I'm going to go ahead and give you a cooking guide for cooking all different types of poultry. So see if I can find it. I'm on the website here. Here we go. Approximate chicken cooking times, and this goes for all poultry as well. A whole broiler fryer, 3 to 4 pounds, will roast at 350 for 1.25 hours to 1.5 hours. Simmering will be 60 to 75 minutes, and grilling would be 60 to 75 minutes. A whole roasting hen, 5 to 7 pounds, would roast at 350 for 2 to 2.25 hours, would simmer at 1.25 hour to 2 hours, and grilling 18 to 25 minutes a pound. A whole capoon, 4 to 8 pounds, would take 2 to 3 hours at roasting at 350. It is not suitable for simmering and would take 15 to 20 minutes per pound on the grill. Whole Cornish hens, 18 to 24 ounces, 50 to 60 minutes to roast at a 350 degree oven, 35 to 40 minutes simmering, and 45 to 55 minutes on the grill. Breast halves, bone in, 6 to 8 ounces, would roast for 30 to 40 minutes, would simmer for 35 to 45 minutes, and would take 10 to 15 minutes per side on the grill. Boneless breast, 4 ounces, roast 20 to 30 minutes, simmer 25 to 30 minutes, and grill 6 to 8 minutes per side. Legs or thighs, 4 to 8 ounces, 40 to 50 minutes roasting, simmering 40 to 50 minutes, and grilling 10 to 15 minutes per side. Drumsticks, 35 to 45 minutes roasting, 40 to 50 minutes simmering, and 8 to 12 minutes per side. And chicken wings or turkey wings or wingettes, 2 to 3 ounces, 30 to 40 minutes roasting, 35 to 45 minutes simmering, and 8 to 12 minutes per side on the grill. That is a basic poultry cooking guide. Obviously, you can cook poultry a plethora of ways. All right, so now the boring part of the show is over. It is now time for some delicious recipes given out to you right now by yours truly, the one and the only Chef Alex Cardinale. So up first, I'm going to give you my delicious Chicken Cordon Bleu recipe. So for this recipe, you're going to need 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You'll need a couple slices of ham. you'll need some Munster cheese. So what you're going to do is you're going to pound your chicken really thin, and you're going to butterfly it in half. Then you're going to place a piece of ham and a piece of cheese and close it together until it's sealed. Then you're going to take a toothpick and seal it together until it is nice and intact. Then you're going to make an egg mixture. You're going to whisk together eggs, some lemon juice, and some seasoning. Whisk it together. Then you're going to add some flour with salt and pepper and breadcrumbs. We're going to create a basic breading station. You're going to take your chicken and you're going to dredge it in the eggs, then in the flour, then back in the eggs, and finally in the breadcrumbs. You're then going to saute that in a hot skillet for about 6 minutes per side. We're going to remove that from the skillet. You're going to put it on a cookie tray, and you're going to put it in the oven at 350 to finish cooking for about 10 minutes. And that is a simple, delicious chicken cordon bleu. And you can serve that with mashed potatoes, egg noodles. You can even create a sauce for it. It really is delicious. All right, my next recipe is my chicken marsala recipe. And this Saturday, on Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale, provided I have time to film, I will show you how to make chicken marsala. So, you're going to need some chicken breast. You're going to need a pound of mushrooms. I use portobello mushrooms. You could use white mushrooms. You're going to need an onion diced. You're going to need 2 cups of Marsala wine, a cup of chicken broth, and you'll also need some butter and additional flour. You're going to take a little plate of flour, salt, and pepper. You're then going to dredge your chicken in the flour mixture. Then you're going to head over to a skillet that has some olive oil in it, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And you're going to saute the chicken 3 or 4 minutes per side. You're going to remove from the pan and allow it to set. We'll finish cooking it in the sauce. Then you're going to saute your mushrooms and your onions until translucent. You're going to add the Marsala wine and let that reduce. You're then going to add your chicken broth. Let that reduce for about 5 minutes. You're then going to take half a stick of butter and dab it in flour, and then put that with the sauce and the mushrooms and onions. That's going to thicken your sauce. Return the chicken to the pan and let finish cooking for about 5 to 10 minutes, and your chicken marsala is ready. You can serve chicken marsala with egg noodles, mashed potatoes, rice, whatever your fancy is. My next recipe is another sauté dish, chicken francais, a classic Italian lemon dish. So for chicken francais, you're going to need some eggs. You're going to need flour, salt and pepper, and parsley, chicken breast. You're also going to need a cup of fresh lemon juice, a cup of white wine, a half cup of chicken broth, a half stick of butter with some flour to create a roux. So you're going to dredge your chicken in the flour mixture, then into the eggs, back into the flour, and then right back into the eggs. Then you're going to take that over to a saute pan that has a couple tablespoons of oil in it, and you're going to saute for about 3 minutes per side. Again, you want to get it to golden, but not fully cooked. We'll let it finish cooking in the sauce. Once we are done cooking the chicken, we're going to drain the oil, and we're going to make our sauce. We're going to take that stick of butter and flour and melt it to create a roux. We are then going to add the lemon juice, the white wine, and the chicken broth, and stir it until it's nice into a nice sauce. It forms a nice thick sauce. Then you're going to add back your chicken and let that cook until it's done. Chicken francais goes great with linguine pasta or fettuccine pasta. Well, can you guys believe Thanksgiving will be here in 2 months' time? Are you ready for Thanksgiving? I certainly am. I love turkey. So here is my recipe for a delicious roasted turkey, no matter how many pounds it is. So you're going to take the turkey, you're going to put it in a turkey roasting bag, you're going to rub it with olive oil and butter. That's going to create a nice exterior and a nice crispy skin. You're going to take Tony Chevron's seasoning. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a butter garlic roast seasoning that you use for turkey and poultry. You're going to inject that into the turkey. That's going to create a lot of flavor. Then you're going to stuff your turkey with apples. Believe it or not, great flavor. And apples are a fall produce that go great with turkey. Trust me, it does. Onions and potatoes. You're going to seal the roasting bag shut. You're going to cook your turkey at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for however long that your turkey weight is. So let's say, for example, I'm cooking a 20-pound turkey. Then I would probably cook it at 375 for 2.5, 3 hours. Once the turkey is done, allow it to rest for about 30 minutes. A lot of people make mistakes on Thanksgiving. They get the turkey out of the oven and they want to rush to cut it. But what ends up happening is your turkey is going to dry out if you do that, and you're going to have a very dry turkey. And your guests are going to have to pour a ton of gravy on their turkey if you do that. So my word of advice this Thanksgiving, do not rush to cut the turkey. When the turkey comes out of the oven, let it sit for at least 20 to 30 minutes so that all those juices can redistribute and create a moist turkey. I love moist meat. My meat has to be moist for me to eat it. Okay, that came out kind of wrong, but you know what I mean. My turkey has to be moist for me to eat it. All right, it's time to create history here on Cooking School with Chef Alex. It's time for a cooking video. Now, get ready to watch me make my favorite chicken dish, Chicken Parmigiana. When we come back, we'll wrap up this amazing episode of Cooking School with Chef Alex.
So we have chicken breast, chicken breast tenderloins, just chicken breast. And we have some breadcrumbs, Italian style. And we're gonna use rigatoni.
Yeah, rigatoni.
So Alex pretty much already put. So how many eggs did you put in this?
I put 6 eggs, so and a little bit of milk and a little bit of water.
So 6 eggs here, and
this is breadcrumbs.
2 jars of breadcrumbs, and these are the ingredients that he used: rigatoni, chicken breast, and eggs. So what are we gonna do now?
So the first thing I want to say before we get started, I'm making a lot because I'm feeding 9 people. So my ingredients might seem high to you. So if you're doing it for less people, you will use less ingredients. So for example, I'm going to be using 2 bags for 9 people, but if you're feeding 2 or 3 people, you only use 1 bag. So we're going to get started. I have a bowl here that I'm going to place the chicken into when I'm done breading it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to grab a piece of chicken, and you're going to put it in your egg wash. And you want to mix it well until it sticks. Usually I would use flour, but we don't have any more flour, so let's use breadcrumbs. And you're going to repeat the process with all the pieces of chicken. And then we're going to go over to the fryer and fry them up. And then we'll put them in the oven. This is a real simple recipe. It's one that I learned when I was 12 years old. And it's one of my personal favorite recipes. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, because we have some awesome cooking recipes that are going to be coming up
And I was very excited to be able to do today's recipe because it's one of my personal favorites.
So you added some salt in there before you put in the chicken breadcrumbs?
Yeah. The oil's nice and hot so it'll cook quick.
How long would you have to wait for you to flip it?
A few seconds, a few minutes.
A few minutes? So after you cook them on the stove, then you cook them in the pan and you put it in the oven?
Yeah.
So how long do you put it in the oven?
About 10 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 to 10 minutes.
Alright then. Alright, so we finally have all the chickens and all the chicken breast on the... We finally have everything on all the chicken breast. Would you call it chicken breast?
Yeah, the chicken breast.
Yeah. So we finally have all the chicken breasts in the pans. So we're gonna put them in the oven for how long?
We're gonna put them in there for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Alright, so I'll show you guys everything when it's done.
So you just take like a spoonful of tomato sauce and drizzle it on top. And now we put on cheese. Today I'm using mozzarella cheese, but sometimes I like to use a mixture of mozzarella, provolone, and Parmesan.
This looks so good.
It looks delicious, doesn't it?
Yeah. And now we're gonna toast the garlic bread.
Yep.
And then make the pasta once the water starts boiling.
Yep. And then we cook the pasta.
What?
And then we cook the pasta.
Yeah. So how long will it take to cook the pasta?
About 7 minutes.
About 7 minutes. So after the pasta, then we will show them the final product.
Yep.
Nice.
And then we put them in. Okay.
I think that's good for the test.
Okay. I'll make it look as nice as I can. Here you go.
Alright, so we're gonna try the pasta first. And we're gonna do the chicken with the pasta now. The pasta's really good. And now that chicken is very good.
You like it?
No.
Nice.
To be honest, I think this is better than Olive Garden's chicken parm.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, I feel like they should hire you to be Olive Garden's chef and never replace the other chef. Yeah. This is like I think the chicken parm.
Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Cooking School with me, Chef Alex Cardinale. It's been an honor and a privilege to educate you about poultry, and I hope you'll use the delicious recipes that I gave out tonight. Before I end today's show, I do have a couple of announcements that I'd like to make. The next episode of Cooking School with Chef Alex will focus on seafood. I've talked a lot about other proteins. I've talked about beef, pork, and today we talked about poultry. So coming up next, we'll talk about seafood, and I'll talk about fish and shellfish. So next time on Cooking School with Chef Alex, join me to learn about seafood. I, Chef Alex Cardinale, will answer all of your cooking and baking questions this Friday, September 9th, 2022 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. So make sure to tune in live this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern so I can answer all of your cooking and baking questions. I love hosting the cooking and baking Q&As, so hopefully I get some great questions to answer this Friday. Also, as per usual, this Saturday on Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale, I am going to show you how to make delicious chicken marsala. So tune in to Saturday Live with legendary Alex Cardinale this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And if you're a new viewer to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale, for more cooking and baking videos like this one, tropical fish videos, and much, much more. I'm Chef Alex. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. And happy cooking, happy baking, and happy eating, everybody. Good night.